Well, welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me yet again, the lucky one. We'll see how lucky he is after this weekend.
Champion.
But juggling Jason.
The champion.
How you feeling today?
Like a champ.
Oh, boy.
Like a champ.
Well, you know we're going to talk about this FA Cup semi-final draw.
We tried to warn you, and
we gotta let they had the Masters draw, so it's a cup match rivalry going on. Of old.
Thank you.
Yeah, of old. It pace be a lot slower. After 5 minutes, yeah. Be a walking pace.
Exactly.
We had the swimmers return from overseas where they won 3 medals, a lot of personal bests. Had a chance to speak with Ben Smith, and obviously we're going to talk about much other things going into the weekend. Obviously the Bermuda cricket team leave, wrote something about that day before yesterday, so others will follow suit eventually. So
we will see.
Yeah. But we'll get to all of that after this message from our sponsors.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber-to-the-home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Well, JB said it. The FA Cup draw, but they had 2 other draws, were made. Very interesting matchups. Actually, let's get a replay of the draws made on Tuesday.
I'm sure everyone's excited about what's about to happen. FA Cup semi-final draw. We were here, I guess, less than a month ago, and we talked about 4 First Division teams progressing to the quarterfinal stage, which made up half of the pool at that stage. And now here we are again, two First Division teams making up the pool of 4 for the semi-final draw. That I think the last time that happened, it may have happened since, but I recall one time that happened where Devonshire Colts actually were drawn against St. George's for the semi-final, which guaranteed a First Division team progressing into the final. Devonshire Colts actually defeated St. George's and went on to win the FA Cup, the first and only team to do so. So obviously the intrigue is there, but a little bit of suspense because we have 3 draws to make today. We have the Expansion League knockout, the Masters knockout, and then we'll finish up with the FA Cup semi-final draw. So in the Expansion League knockout, we have PHC, Devonshire Rack, Western Stars, Dandytown, Southampton Bridge, Southampton Rangers, Crossroads, Somerset Cricket Club, Devonshire Colts, and Hamilton Parish. So that's 9 teams, so we will have a preliminary round. So the first 2 teams out will face each other in a preliminary round, and then we will do the full draw. Ready? Hamilton Parish, Devonshire Colts, Crossroads, Southampton Rangers, Somerset Bridge, Dandytown, Devonshire Rack, PHC. Yeah. So Dandytown, face Hamilton Parish in the preliminary match. Somerset Bridge. Play Somerset Cricket Club. Southampton Rangers. Play Devonshire Rack. Devonshire Colts. Play PHC. Dandy Town, the winner of Dandy Town and Hamilton Parish will play Crossroads. On to the Masters knockout. Remaining teams are Hamilton Parish, North Village Rams, Prospect, Somerset Extras, Young Men's Social Club, St. George's Stallions, St. George's All Stars, and PHC Raiders. St. George's Stallions, PHC Raiders, St. George's All Stars, Somerset Extras, Prospect, Young Men's Social Club, Hamilton Parish, North Village Rams. Hamilton Parish, play Prospect. St. George's All Stars, play PHC Raiders. St. George's Stallions, play Somerset Extras. Young Men's Social Club, play North Village Rams. St. George's and Somerset, for the fourth year in a row they'll be matched up against each other. Cup match again. For the much anticipated FA Cup semi-final draw, PHC, Robin Hood, Paget, and Southampton Rangers. Southampton Rangers, Robin Hood, PHC, Paget. So two teams fighting for promotion. The league leaders and the defending league champions. Doesn't get much better than that, eh? Southampton Rangers. Paget. Robin Hood, PHC. Next time I'll get someone else to do this draw, so I don't get blamed. But there we have it.
You got a venue for it yet?
We have. Give me a second, Lawrence. Which one's first? Okay, the expansion league. Okay, so the summary of the three draws. Expansion league. Dennytown and Hamilton Parish will play in the preliminary round, which is scheduled for. It's not on the schedule.
March 13th.
There it is, Tuesday, March 13th, which will change. I believe the FA Cup semi-finals changed to that date. But in the quarterfinal proper, it'll be the winner of Dennytown, Hamilton Parish versus Somerset Bridge versus Crossroads. Then we have Somerset Bridge versus Somerset Cricket Club, Southampton Rangers versus Devonshire Rack, and Devonshire Colts versus PHC. We will verify that date and the venues. For the Masters Cup quarterfinals, which will be held on Wednesday, March 21st, we have Hamilton Parish versus Prospect, St. George's All-Stars versus PHC Raiders, St. George's Stallions versus Somerset Extras, and Young Men Social Club versus North Village. And then the big matches to be held on Tuesday, March 13th. Venue is actually still to be determined. We shall determine that within the next 48 hours. We have Southampton Rangers facing off against Paget at 7 p.m. and then Robin Hood versus PHC at 9 p.m. Those matches on Tuesday, March 13th.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
But we'll work backwards.
Yeah, let's work backwards.
The final draw on Tuesday, as we just saw, was the FA Challenge Cup. And you could have heard a pin drop in that room. The only thing you really heard was Shannon moving the balls around. And that first name to come out, Southampton Rangers. And I'm going to tell you, Jay, there were a few people from Rangers in the room sitting on both sides of the table. And when they came out first, I quickly glanced at them, and they were all looking at each other. The next name to come out, when they said Paget, shoulders dropped. Whew. A draw they really, really wanted, because obviously now it sets them up with a strong chance of making it to the final. Also, Paget, with the run they're having, have a very strong chance of making it to the final. That particular matchup, given it's a few weeks away, how do you see it? He's cautious with his words, folks.
Yeah. It's going to be, actually, you know what? It's going to be a well-attended game, I'll tell you that.
Oh, definitely.
Straight off the bat, a well-attended game. I'm just wondering, though. Cricket team will be back by then.
Yeah, and he's able to play. He is eligible to play until, I think, April 2nd, I think. Yeah, he's eligible to play.
With Dion Starwell being back, eligible to play,
Yeah.
have played for Rangers in cricket, and looking to go back there this season, you could just imagine what the banter would be like on and off the field.
Well, could you imagine what the banter would be like getting on the plane? Him and Gennaro
Oh,
talking.
jeez.
They're going to spend 12 or 16 days together. That game, the football game, will be the highlight of their cricket
And
tour.
you've got players
On both sides.
on both sides who've played for both teams.
Or living in neighborhoods.
Living in the neighborhood, Travis Wilkerson, our goalkeeper Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go on and back and forth. Arrow, it's gonna be. I'm just glad. And you look at the person who picked the balls out. He played the last time a first division team actually made it to the finals
And won it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shannon
Beat
Burns.
Boulevard in extra time.
Yeah, I believe 2-0.
2-0.
So, just in that alone, one of these teams will be in the finals.
That's right.
Of the FA Cup.
12 years in the making.
This is probably the first time you actually want to go to the game.
Well, you don't want to be in line at 6:45 because you might still be outside.
Right, and it is a night game too.
Yeah.
It is a night game.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Of course, they got drawn out first, so they have the 7 o'clock game, and then the mouth-watering Premier Division.
Robin Hood and PAC.
Yeah,
And that
a lot of history there too.
a lot of history, a lot of battles, and you probably I would almost say, no, I'm not even gonna say that because you like to use that word rivalry. It's sort of got to be on the same plane. We're talking about trophies. And this, that,
Yeah.
yeah. Robin Hood's nowhere, but they've been very competitive.
They've won one trophy for the last 2 seasons. So, and the last one was
even
the
if you
lead.
look at Robin Hood, Earl, even if you look at Robin Hood, it's still a fairly young team in the Premier Division. We're not talking 5 years yet.
Right. No.
Last year they still surprised everybody.
Oh yeah, they were the Leicester City of Bermuda football.
Exactly. So, for them being defending champions, obviously they are still in it for the league.
Yeah.
They might be looking, obviously, to get a trophy.
Yes.
PAC could do something very special this year. They're not going to lay down either.
Nope.
So it's going to be, I think, both games. I just can't. I mean, hurry up. Hurry up.
Yeah, March. I think it's March 12th or 13th, something like that. But
The closer it gets to, we'll see who's fit and not fit. And I think it's sort of hard to pick who's going to win right now because we don't know what the teams are going to be like.
I believe Robin Hood, when we get to the picks, they'll have a surprise in their lineup this week. I believe, but we'll see when we get to that part.
Wow, then we got to see.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's go to the picks, man.
Let's go to the picks.
Let's go to the picks. First out of the bat,
Robin Hood.
they're home to, basically both of them share the same field.
Yeah.
Flanagan's are the home team. They play on Saturday night at BAA 9 o'clock. Now, there's a possibility that Dale Eve will play in goal for Robin Hood. I believe his international transfer has come through. So there's a possibility he's eligible to play for them. So, but looking at it, I think this will be the end of the road for Flanagan's. Not mathematically, but this will be the end of the road for him.
Boy's the man.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally agree.
I thought you was gonna pick the team in
I said
orange.
that to me week before last. They didn't win that game. That was it.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's it.
That's it. It's been good.
Done and dusted. Next game is interesting. Devonshire Cougars are home to Dendy Town. How does Dendy Town bounce back from that defeat after being on such a high going into the game against PHC last week?
I'm good with Tom.
The game of time.
I'm good with Tom. They have to win.
Yeah, they literally have to
They
win.
have to win.
I agree. They have to win. I'm
And
toying.
I'm saying that because we talk about the last game of the Premier, the PAC they're playing. They have to win.
Yeah. I'm toying with the idea of that little rivalry with Kwame leaving Devonshire Cougars plays a big part in them getting up for the match.
And I expect him to play.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm expecting Dendy Town to win, but it won't be easy.
no, I definitely don't think it'll be easy. But when I talked about the last 6 games a couple of shows ago, remember I told you I circled this week. If Dendy Town is able to win this, is there only one other team that can get in the array? And we talked about it and get in everybody's array.
And
Crossroads.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But this is the game right here that they have to win.
Anything short of 3 points is almost an end for them in the league. Now miracles can happen, but it almost it makes that uphill battle a mountain.
PAC would have to lose twice.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah.
So
So we're both taking Dendy Town.
Yeah.
Now, next match, the team you're talking about that will have a say in who wins the league. Crossroads are home to North Village.
Village has to win.
Yeah. I'm going with Crossroads. And I'll tell you why. North Village right now are all to pieces, 6 to 9s. They just lost in extra time to Southampton Rangers.
Yeah.
Right? They have an outside chance of winning the league, but I don't think the belief for them to win the league is there. So right now they're playing for position for the Dudley Eve next year. Crossroads are on a high. And that's why I pick them at home to continue their run.
It's your opinion. NVCC.
Okay, so we'll split.
We'll split there.
Okay. Well,
Next.
Young Man Social Club are at home to the Boulevard Blazers.
I just want to flip a coin for this one. I really do. Maybe another away team.
You're going to the away team?
I'm going Blazers. I'm going to Blazers. But Clay Dare was cool. I've been consistent.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you figure this one out, buddy.
I you know what?
Unless Zika is coming back.
I'm leaning towards
The Bluebirds finally get one.
I think they will. This will be the week.
This is the best chance.
Yeah. Well, remember with the issues of several players from Boulevard unable to play at the police field because of the.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So will their squad be a little more depleted? How are things going? They've had 2 weeks off now. Have they trained? You know what I mean? I don't even know if Social Club's training, but I think because they'll have more players to pick from. I didn't say quality, I said more. I'm leaning towards
But Boulevard's got some genius too, though.
Yeah, but I'm leaning towards Social Club picking up their first win in the Premier Division for how many years? Did they win when they went down?
Yeah.
Okay, so we split there. Or are you coming back?
No, I'm gonna stay there.
Okay.
This might be a draw, though.
Well, it might be nil.
Yeah.
Minus one.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then, on paper, this would be if somebody said to you, the Somerset Trojans were going to play at the PHC Stadium, and you had your back to, didn't know what was going on, you would honestly believe this is one of the biggest games of the season.
Yeah, maybe 10 years ago.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Not this year.
No. You're expecting PHC to breeze cross Somerset Trojans?
At least 3-0.
Okay. I'm with you on
4-1.
that.
At least plus 3 goals, I can tell you.
Plus 3.
Plus
Okay.
3.
One's enough, though, you know.
Yeah, but it's just last weekend. I think Got things back in order.
Okay, all right. Now let's move to the first division. We're both taking St. David's.
Against Hamilton Parish.
Yeah, at Wellington Oval. No way, no two ways about it. No. Parish gonna have to surprise us and win one.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Second game, I think we're both taking Pageant.
Definitely. They're at Devonshire Rack facing Wolves. Will Wolves show up?
Last time was what, 8 million?
Yeah. The home this time, so guys should just roll out of the bed at like 12:25.
Okay, 9 million.
Eagles, Devonshire Colts at Police Field. Devonshire Colts lost to Island Rangers last time out, mate. I'm taking Somerset Eagles.
I'm just looking at all my picks. Majority of my picks is for the away team.
And usually you don't go that way.
I just don't go that way, but this
gotta give the edge to the home team. Gotta give the edge to the this
is the last two I am though.
Oh well, yeah, because Southampton Rangers are at home to Island Rangers.
Yeah.
Now Island Rangers are coming in on a high. They beat Devonshire Colts.
Yeah,
they scored 5 goals.
Back to reality.
Okay.
Back to reality.
So Rangers continue their run.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And once again, like we talked about in the Premier Division, Rangers has to win.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they're sitting in third.
Yeah.
So they have to win.
They have to win in order to keep pace, because obviously we're expecting Pageant to beat Wolves.
And we're also expecting for this last game.
Well,
I'm expecting, because I know you're not expecting.
Well,
I'm expecting. You're not gonna go 2 weeks in a row.
No, I'm gonna take St. George's. And I'll tell you why I'm going to take St. George's.
Why?
They're coming off a high of losing 2-1 to Robin Hood. They will want to be one of the teams to say, we decided who won the league and who we decided
You know how much
who won.
energy it took them to get to 2-1 against Robin Hood?
And they're going to be up for it against BAA, maybe.
And BAA is...
They just lost.
Vax!
Yeah, they just lost.
I'm going to take it out on these boys.
We'll see.
Yeah, that could be blue, all right.
Well, not blue or Colts. So we're different on 3.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Good luck.
You might need it.
You might need it too.
I'm gonna check.
Oh yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky, Jay. You're lucky, Jay. Lucky Jay.
But to put it this way, our record lately has been terrible.
Those 3 might be the
It might be the 3 again. So might be 2-1.
Yeah.
So go figure.
Wow. Well, we'll wait and see on Sunday. By about 5:15, we should know how well or how bad we done for the week.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber to the home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
I'm gonna see if this football story lasts. I just want to mention something last, but we can go to our next sports story.
You want to write that down because I know your memory.
No, I'm good. I know where I want to go with it.
Okay, all right. Well, got a chance to speak with Ben Smith, who is just back from the U.S., taking 16 swimmers from Work Academy. Ben's been doing a program at Work Academy that has worked with the school, and as a result, I mean, these kids performed amazingly over the last weekend. Let's get the interview with Ben Smith, the national swimming coach. Ben Smith returned to Bermuda with several swimmers having competed in the U.S. The competition saw the swimmers compete in yards and not meters, with Smith summing up the performances this way.
Well, it was an amazing competition. We were expecting to have a high level of competitors for us to go up against. It obviously lived up to that. The atmosphere of the event was amazing. the kids were really excited to have an opportunity to be in a team atmosphere where they were representing their school. And then with the amount of personal best times and the fast swimming that we were able to get from the team, it was just an overall amazing experience.
And for the outstanding performances of Jesse, obviously winning a gold and a silver, and Logan winning a silver, must have been proud moments for you.
Yeah, so obviously going into the competition, it was a huge kind of exciting opportunity for us, being the first school outside of the U.S. to be able to compete in this competition. And then in our first attempt at the competition, to be able to get that kind of success was obviously impressive. Jesse Washington, there were quite a few people that were really excited to watch that level of swimming from him. And he was able to get the gold medal in the first day and just missed out on getting a second gold in the 100 freestyle. As a senior, this is his first and last opportunity to compete in the competition, but it was really good, showing the level of a competitor that he's going to be in a U.S. program. And Logan Watson-Brown, this being her freshman year, obviously getting a silver medal in her first attempt at the competition shows her level of ability and what we should be looking for her going forward.
Now, overall, some of these kids probably done some amazing things, even surprising you at times, but this clearly is another tick in the box for the Walk Academy program.
Most definitely. When we first started to look at having this program happen, one of the big kind of things that we had to tick off was the ability to enter into this competition, and then to get there and have the girls team place 10th out of 30 teams and the boys team finishing 14 out of 28. That's amazing, considering, we've only been in this for, a few months, really, when you count back to September when we started this program. To be able to reach this level so quickly, really impressive, and it gives us the energy to really move forward and continue to build.
How does these performances stack up against what you're hoping to achieve once we go to the Carifta Swimming Championships?
Well, one of the good things is that by swimming in yards, it gave them an opportunity to really get to that sprint, fast, powerful swimming. So now that we've had that under our belt, a lot of these same athletes will be training towards Carifta. So over the next 6 weeks, we'll be looking to really kind of hone the details, the things that we learned by some of the errors that were made while we were at the Easterns meet, and put that knowledge into what we're going to do so that we can prepare for fast or even faster swimming, I should say, when we get to Carifta.
Well, Jay, there you have it from Ben. Looking forward to, obviously, Carifta. Now, the difference that these swimmers competed in this past weekend is that in the U.S., they swim in yards. In Bermuda, we swim in meters. Mm-hmm. So yards actually set you up for that push a lot sooner to get yourself back into a flow. Now, he has to bring that explosiveness back in training, and they use that. So once they get to the Carifta Swimming Championships and the CIS and all the other things that go on throughout the summer, they'll use this as a springboard to make sure that these swimmers are right in their flow and ready to go.
Yeah, you're seeing they have a template that's been very successful over the last 3, 4, 5 years. Mm-hmm. And all they do is tweak it from year to year with the technology and what's available for the coaches for as far as resources. So they don't want to do too many things different because they've been successful.
Right.
So it's just a matter of tweaking it. You're probably learning more about each individual swimmer. Mm-hmm. But we talk about recovery time for things of this nature, because you always want your athletes to peak at the event that you want them peak at. Mm-hmm. So, like you said, these are certain ways where sometimes you might be working on your start, sometimes you might be working on speed, sometimes you might be working on endurance. What's the events that's going to help you get to the where you need to be? And Ben Smith and his group has done a tremendous job doing that.
Yeah, they actually have devices in the headgear that they wear while they're training that gives them their swim stroke, how much everything they're burning off, everything that you could think of. So when they come out of the pool, he takes the chip out, plugs it in. They get an email, he gets an email, and it tells him everything. So he can tell if they've been slacking. He can tell if they're overworking. He can tell if their stroke is just right or what needs to be worked on, and then they go to work. So it's the technology that they're utilizing to help them advance, and it's paying dividends because you could see the times improving for everybody. When you start saying you're dropping 4 seconds off of your previous best time, come on, are you serious?
Yeah, and in a swimming pool, 4 seconds is a lot.
4 seconds is almost 3 strokes.
4 seconds is a lot. So
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Yeah. Well,
okay, so this is my time. It's 3 stories international stories. And sometimes, obviously, we love to keep it local. But 3 international stories. And I'm going to stick with one having to do with locals. Obviously, with motocross.
okay. Yeah.
Zende was Fabler, Ingham Fabler, was able to join
Jair.
the event over the weekend. In the lower class, obviously, in amateur class.
Right.
But it's good to, when we just talked about Jair last show, it's good to see a local rider playing in a professional outfit. Obviously, those 2 riders have basically grew up down not in Coney Island, South Side.
Yeah, South Side. Yeah. They didn't even know what Coney Island looked like.
But the support they've had from their families, man, is unbelievable. And I just wish them well because the mothers, both of them's mothers and fathers, are heavily involved in their success of where they are today.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be nice to bring that up on today's
Well, also, Jonah Smith competed in Florida.
show. Exactly.
So-
And once again, his mother and father.
Yeah.
him.
When we start talking about what Bermudians are doing internationally, it's an eye opener and a good feeling because we can compete if given the opportunity. I mean, you have a youngster, Daquan Crockwell, who's just gone 16. He's playing in Port Vale's reserve team. He's when their number 2 goalkeeper in their main team is injured, he sits on the bench. Who knows? The goalkeeper can get injured. There's another player playing English football. I mean, we have 2 players playing squash professionally. There will be an action next week right here on home soil. We compete on this level.
You know what the main thing is, though?
Support. Yep.
We have talent here, and if it's groomed and supported,
Both financially, physically, and mentally.
Yeah, mentally.
That is we have this big challenge right now, and we've seen all these reports about education and the numbers and this and that. One of the biggest challenges that we don't hear about is the mental state of our kids who are struggling and why. There are so many issues out there relating to why kids can't focus in class, why, because they have so many different things going on.
And Earl, let me tell you, obviously over the weekend, I did the auditions for the performing arts,
Yes.
for teen services. But it's a proven fact, clinically, it's a proven fact that kids who are involved in school, in arts and in sports, tend to have a better focus when it comes to schooling. Tend to have a better discipline.
Yeah. Because if you take it away.
Because not only that, but you have to practice.
Yeah.
You have to practice. Now, we talked about support. That's why we led me to this point. Jamaica's women's bobsled team.
Red stripe. Red stripe.
I'm glad there was a happy ending to that when the coach threatened to, when she was demoted to another coaching position, she threatened to take her sled.
Well, she didn't threaten. She took it.
Eventually, she took it. But Red Stripe came to support these young ladies, and they made history.
Yeah.
Along with another African team, a female African bobsled team, which I'm still trying to get over.
Nigeria.
Yeah,
Nigeria. Yeah. The Jamaican team was a double. The Nigerian team was a foursome.
I'm still trying to get over a Nigerian women's bobsled team.
Man, they slide down the sand, man. the dirt, the dust.
So I guess there's 2 more movies coming.
Oh yeah, well, without a doubt, and they'll be on different coasts and how they met.
Yeah. Now the final, I thought I'll leave this football story for last. So every time we hear about incidents happening in Bermuda, as far as referees and players, there's always a big uproar about the discipline of our players, the referees. They'll be blaming the world. Well, the past weekend, I believe in the Brazilian league.
Brazil, yeah.
A game was abandoned. Professional game too. Professional game. 2 professional teams. Players getting played. Game was abandoned.
Yeah.
Because it didn't have enough players on the field to play.
The referee's got a rotator cuff problem now.
I don't know who's wrong or who's right, but 10 red cards, and they were evenly distributed.
Yeah.
5 on one side, 5 on another.
8 yellow cards.
He had normally they used to write the names of the players on the
Man,
cards.
not the ink, man.
He had to pull out another card.
And a bar of pen.
So I mean, we may laugh about it, but sometimes we really just gotta sit back and say, you know what? We're not that bad after all.
No, not at all.
We're not that bad after.
Not at all. And you're right. We're not the only country that has problems within our society, and we're not the only ones that sports sometimes it's social ills spill over to it. We just have to keep it within context of what happens here is here, what happens over there happens over there, and we need to make sure that we educate ourselves to ensure that we can get along a little better amongst our small community, and take it from there.
I just thought
you and your Brazilian bandit match.
Well, I had one more, but I'll save that for next week.
No. Bring it on.
One more?
Yeah, one more. Why not?
All right. So the last one. Well, Winter Olympics on, obviously, folks. And in the sport of curling. Now, I'm not sure if you guys understand what curling is. This is what they have these rocks that they slide along the ice to knock another rock out of the way to land in a certain place on the ice. So you have a guy that will push the rock, and then you have what they call sweepers, and just clear the path to make a nice smooth entrance to get into rhythm position. Then when I saw that one of the athletes was banned
A and B tests
for PEDs, testing positive, A and B, not accused, banned for pushing a rock. Now, I'm not sure how much recovery time you need to push a rock. I'm not sure you're not doing it for strength because you're just pushing a rock. So I'm still trying to figure, why are you trying to use some PED to push a rock on ice? It's going to slide anyway.
When you are used to doing something.
It's a rock!
When you're used to a certain behavior, you can never get away from it. That's the issue.
A rock?
Jay, he's Russian.
Okay, all right.
And that's bottom line. And this is where the countries who said that no Russian should take part in it, because this comes back to slap the IOC in the face. Because the other athletes were saying, if it's statewide, they should be banned.
It's been systemic.
Until
they said it was systemic.
Right, until it is cleared 100%. None of these lots should be allowed to. The IOC wanting to make sure that it was globally done. We say, okay, well, we'll let them in. They'll compete under the IOC flag. But guess what, IOC? It don't look good.
I've been banned for PEDs for pushing a rock.
Does it curl at all?
Still a rock.
No, but I'm saying it just spins. So
yeah,
they should call it spinners.
They should call it throwing a rock.
Well, folks, with a PED,
With rocks.
have a good night from the Digicel Sports Show.